Hi everyone, how you doing? Hope you're all having a beautiful morning, afternoon, night, whatever time zone it may be. I'm sorry, I'm a little late today. Hal had some errands he wanted to run, and I just wanted to join him. Full disclosure, I just wanted to get out of the house and go like out, even if it was just to run a couple of errands. And we had a lovely time, and it was really nice. But we did end up getting home a little bit late. But we're here now. Hi everyone, how you doing? Hello Jake, hello Fluttershy, hello Noob, hello everyone who's just lurking. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My knee hurts. And I know my knee always hurts, but my knee hurts a lot more than it usually does. I think the last time my knee hurt this bad, the weather had suddenly changed from like summer to like really, really cold. And the sudden like weather change caused a lot of pain for a lot of weeks. That's the level of pain that I'm in right now. But so I might be a little slow with the artwork. I might get distracted a lot more than usual, and we might even wrap up the art section of the stream early so that I can lay down on the couch. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully I can kind of like push through. I had my neurologist appointment yesterday. That was really fun. TLDR, I need to get a nerve conductive study on my foot, which is happening on Friday. And then I need to book the appointment still, but I need to get an MRI scan of my brain and all 3 sectors of my spine. I believe the spine is cut into like 2 or 3 parts when it comes to MRIs. I need to get the entire spine done. It's gonna be very expensive. Actually, no, sorry, the MRI is supposed to be fully covered. I don't think I'm paying for the MRI, but the nerve conductive study that I have on Friday is very expensive. So, yippee, question mark. I guess now's as good a time as any if you want to buy some artwork. I still have my sale on. I still have my Pride Month sale on. That will help me pay for my nerve conductive study on Friday. No pressure, of course. But otherwise, we're just here to draw and have a good time. I've been drawing my other design a lot lately. I think you guys might remember this piece that I drew. Actually, I don't remember if I drew this piece on stream or off stream. But I also have this one. We have the classic, if I can open it, I'm gonna Persona 3 myself. Where is it? I think it's in, it will be in the VTuber file. Yeah, here we go. We've got this one as well. And I want to draw another piece. This is just like the classic meme, like 0.5 angle. I originally had started the line art for this one, but I felt like it was too thick. I didn't really like it, especially compared to these two. This one's got really thin line art, and this one's like got thicker line art, but still not super thick. So we're gonna do another model. Not another model, another little gooby. Are these hints to a new model? I mean, I don't think it's hints anymore. Like, I literally worked on the new model on stream a couple of times. It's definitely coming. I've finished the live 2D version of the model. There was some things that I wanted to add to it, but my free trial of live 2D cubism ended before I could add everything that I wanted to add. I think it's fully functional though. It should be fine. And I've also made some new PNG tubers for like when I really can't be on camera, or like for collabs and stuff. I have some of those, and I have another thing that I don't want to talk about yet, but it looks a little juvenile, but I'm really happy with it because I managed to make it myself, so that's really fun. And there's a bunch of other little things that are gonna, just little touch-ups. I originally wanted to work on everything for this exclusively off stream, but I've just been so busy that like sometimes the only time I can sit down to work on it and like sit down and draw is for the art streams, which is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. But anyway, I don't know when any of that's gonna be like fully finalized and ready because I have like a whole checklist that I need to get through. And we're like, what? Where is that checklist actually? We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're a little over halfway, but I do need to add more things to this list that I forgot. So we're actually a little less than halfway, which makes me think it's probably not going to be anytime soon. So don't get too excited, people. It's so funny that it's taking me this long to get it done because originally I wanted my birthday stream to be like the big reveal. And then I just wanted to add so much more stuff to it that it's like, okay, well that's not gonna happen. And now we're like over a month later and it's still not done. But that's okay. I have my tea, I have some water, and I have a soft drink in the fridge, like just waiting. I thought I had one cooled down and ready to go, but I guess I drank that one. So I had to pop it in the fridge before the stream, so it's not ready yet. Actually, I think that's fine. That's totally fine. I have this exact same picture for like my design. Where is she? Yeah, up here. What did I call it? I think I called it, yeah, I called it, no, not Tism. Tism is a different one. It is, oh here, Squeak. It's basically the exact same pose, it's just done ever so slightly differently. I go through like my folder of like my design and the drawings I've done and I'm like, man, I kind of just want to yoink it and like reuse it. But I also have a lot less art than I thought I did. You know, for someone who spends literally well not literally, but at the time, literally every single day, like drawing and working on visual products and projects, I have like not a lot of artwork of my model and my design. It's very jarring to like realize that. It's like, damn, I spend so much time drawing, what am I actually drawing? And then you see the projects and you're like, oh, that makes sense, that checks out. I don't like that line. This line is pissing me off. Close enough, I suppose. You mentioning Coke makes me want some so bad right now. Can you have some? Can you? You're out of surgery now, right? I think. Time is a funny thing. I'm pretty sure you've had your surgery. I got vanilla Pepsi Max is what I've got. Hal's got some Coke in the fridge. Currently in the hospital room for the night. Damn, dude. Do you have headphones or am I on speaker? Also, do you have a private room or are you sharing with people? No reason in particular, I would just like to know. I have to go to the hospital to get my nerve conductive study. It's so funny, I went to my neurologist yesterday and they were like, oh, if you want, we can do the nerve conductive study later today. And I was like, oh, that sounds good. And they're like, yeah, I have a slot for like 5:30. And like my appointment was at 1:30. And like the place is really close to where I live, but because I like public transport it since I can't drive, like it would have taken me a little under an hour to get home. and then I would have spent 2 hours at home, and then it would have taken me a little under an hour to get back out there. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I ended up booking it for Friday instead. Headphones and private room? Damn it. I mean, that's good for you. That's fantastic for you. There was nothing I wanted to do with that information. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. Why am I like so far off screen? I'm like clipping into the void. If I move my camera, can I be a little more present? Okay, so once... Where do you want to be? There? I can't really see chat if you're there. Alright, that's fine. We'll work with that. I was like slowly clipping into like the void. I'm doing it again! Why am I moving into the void? Hang on. There, I'll just do it that way. Easy. I'm not in the void anymore. You're being consumed. The void's trying to eat me, bro. A silly banana. I saw the picture that you put in the meme chat. At least I think it was in the meme chat. And like, I can't even be mad at it. I'm debating like just drawing that and turning it into an emote. I think that would be really funny. Although it would have to be... The problem is, I really like drawing my model with the long snoot and like the super weird proportions. I've gotten really used to drawing her like that, and I'm like, that's just how she looks now. But I haven't reached that point with the upcoming model, and it's like, I'm debating whether or not I do what Jaden Animations does. I'm sure you guys have seen it. In her videos, she will have like the version of herself that's telling the story, and then she'll have a much shorter, much simpler drawn, like gremlin version of herself. And I really like that idea, and so I think the two versions of my character will like coexist. You'll have like the slightly more normal one, and then like the actual Chihuahua will just become like the pure little chaos gremlin that follows her around. Like, wonder if I have a picture. I don't really know what to Google to find it. But there's like... I could probably pull up one of her videos, but I don't really want to. Alright, no, never mind. Ignore that plot line. We'll come back to it another day. What is this line here? Girl, what are you doing? I love cleaning up sketches that I drew when I was like really tired. Because like, I wake up a little more, my brain's a little more active, and then I come back to the sketch that I drew while I was like half asleep, and there's always at least one section where I'm like, girl, what is that? What did you do here? I had a lot of those with this piece. The way Rochelle was drawn in the sketch, I was so confused. I was like, bro, what did you do? Hi, Reaper, how you doing? Welcome in. Why am I looking up so high? My head, this is what, okay, my head's down now. Okay, good. I put my, my tripod in its usual spot, and it just didn't like that. So I guess now I'm perpetually looking up, even though I'm actually looking down. Models disagreeing. Yeah, she's fighting me today. I don't know why. Ooh, actually, can I copy paste this ear? I can. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna... The fact that she's looking up so high is like pissing me off. Give me 1 second. Alright, I think that's better. We went to like a tech store today, Hal and I, when we went shopping, and he was looking at his own capture card because like our capture card's really old, but it works fine with my PC because my PC is roughly the same age as the capture card, maybe like a year or two younger. Hi Kyra, welcome in, how you doing? So we were looking for something that's around the same age as Hal's computer, and we came across the Elgato 4KS, I think it was. And we were like, yeah, that looks good. That looks like what we need. And I got like kind of confused when I saw the ports on the back, because the ports on the Elgato, they have like a HDMI in port, a HDMI out port, and a power port. And on mine, the power port is a USB-C, but the cable is USB-C on one end and then USB 3 type A on the other end, which is why I'm able to use it, because my computer doesn't have USB-C ports. And I was looking at the back, and I was like, ooh, I wonder if it's the same thing, because this Elgato is like newer, so it might be USB-C to USB-C. And Hal looks at me and he's like, oh, well, my PC only has one USB-C port. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I'm trying to explain to Hal the difference, between, like, the USB-C and the USB 3A. And he's trying his best, and he can kind of get a grasp on it, but, like, I don't know whether I was doing a bad job explaining it or it was just too much tech speak. But ultimately, he was like, okay, can you ask the clerk the question that you have instead of me asking it? And I was like, yeah, sure, I can ask the question. And I had, like, not a long chat, but, like, a decent chat with, like, the store clerk about the difference between USB-C and USB 3 type A and, like, the kind of cable that it is. Eventually, we found out that it's USB-C to USB-C. But we're still gonna get it, so we're gonna... Hal's definitely gonna use it. I don't know if I will, just because my HD 60S Plus works perfectly fine with my computer. So I don't know if I'll use the 4KS, but Hal's definitely gonna use it when it comes in a couple of days, because it's not ready immediately. So hopefully his like console streams, his like PlayStation streams don't freeze up all the time. That would be lovely. Girl, hope you have a banger stream. I'm gonna rest up. Girl, you just got out of surgery. Like, girl, you should be resting. Go get some rest, girl. We're just gonna be binge chillin'. I don't know how long we're gonna draw, because my knee really hurts, and it's really, like, when my knee is sore, sitting at my desk only, like, worsens it. So, I don't know how long we're gonna be doing this, but we're gonna be doing Tomodachi Life after this. There was a really, really nice thing that happened in Tomodachi Life. It's not a huge thing, but I'm really happy that it happened, that I would like to share with people. And then, yeah, we'll just catch up with everybody. Did you like the drawing? I did. It was very nice. Thank you, Kyra. Ow, that was rude. Go to bed, Jake. There we go. I probably could have copy-pasted the ear over and warped it, because it looks like the exact same ear, just flipped. but I didn't think about that. I merged it all, so now I may as well just draw it all again. I have to finalize a couple of things for the charity event that we're doing on Saturday. And I'm trying to keep, like, all of the activities something that I can do on the couch. Because if I'm gonna stream for that long, I would really, really like to be able to be in a position where I can very easily elevate or manipulate my knee however I need to so that it's comfortable. And so far it looks like it'll work out. We have a couple of really fun things planned. The activity for slot 1 might be a little difficult to do from the from the couch, but I think we'll be fine. I posted, if you guys follow me on Bluesky, I posted what is it? The incentives. I posted the incentives and the goals for the charity event. And usually it's like really, really hard for me to come up with incentives and goals, but because this is the 4th event like this I've done, like it's my 2nd charity event, but I've done 2 like donathon events before. So because it's like the 4th event, I literally just like opened all of the incentives and goals for my previous events and was like, okay, that looks good, and I like modified a couple of things. It's slowly getting easier to decide on some incentives and goals for you guys. I'm really excited. Like, I really like Gamers Outreach. Gamers Outreach has actually asked me to do multiple events for them, like after the first one that we did. Unfortunately, I just couldn't do that many of them, so the VTuber SummerSlam I will like definitely do. That's like my yearly charity event. At least it is now. But I'm just so excited. I really like it. I originally, when they first approached me, I was going to say no, simply because I didn't know which countries they worked with, like which country children's hospitals they worked with. And, you know, I'm an Australian streamer, so if I'm going to help out a charity, I would like to help out a charity that's actively doing work in Australia. But they are. They work in, I think, in Sydney and Queensland. I don't know if they work with the other states, at least yet. But that was good enough for me. I was like, damn, okay. You work with some Australian hospitals, at least some of my donation money will go towards my own country. That's really nice. I appreciate that. And it's just a fun excuse to get all of your friends together. I generally speaking, when I do these events, I have like some friends that carry over from other events, but for the most part, I have like different people on every time. Eventually, I would like to have everyone on for one big event. The problem is, like, you know, getting everyone together for the same time slot. Very difficult, very hard. Not a fan. But when it does work out, oh boy. Works out really nice. I do like it. I'm just gonna tilt this a little bit to better fit the curve of the face that I drew, instead of, like, trying to draw the line again. Sometimes I just get a bit lazy with it, chat. There we go. Oh, is my tea cold enough? No, it's probably not. I think we're gonna go down here now. Actually, hang on. Yeah, no, that's fine. We're gonna go like this. I'm gonna kind of close this collar bit a little bit. I don't want it to be as open. And then we can bring this in. Nice. I actually hate that. Like, ooh, looks good, zooms out. Like, no. No, it doesn't. There we go. Alright, and then I'm gonna turn that down. And we're gonna draw the buckle on a separate layer. I don't want it too close to the face. I still want there to be like a little gap there. Maybe like that. What the hell? I'm so sorry. I was drawing and I heard someone really loudly go, hello? And I'm looking outside and like one of the apartments across from us is like dusting her blanket and like talking to someone that's just like walking through the complex. And like surely they must know each other, but like it scared me because my window is open, so I was like, oh shit, is she talking to me? No, I don't want that. There we go. Now all these can come down together to one big layer. Yeah. Should I draw her inside? Maybe her neck, like this. Nah, I feel like that, well, that would either be shirt color or the inside of the collar, I think. Nah, I'll worry about it when I get there. I'm gonna turn this down. Do the collar, like excess bit. I don't know what it's called, but I just really like adding it. Might make it a bit smaller than the sketch though. Like,
hello, gorgeous.
Hello, gorgeous. Welcome. I believe she needs the little, I don't know what they're called, notches? Is that what they're called? Little notches, little holes? I think that's what this is called. Perfect. Oh. Ooh, baby. Little baby. Is that you as a chibi? It's a redraw of this picture. Just, you know, different character. I really liked it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna draw it again for someone else. Or like for a different character. It does look a little different, but I kind of like a little different. I'll have this come out a little more. Maybe like that. And this will be like the t-shirt. She does have stars on like the side. We'll add that in. Here. Actually, what I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna draw these two lines. It was so close to being exactly what I needed. Alright, like that. There we go. Whoops, I forgot. I thought I drew the vertical lines on a different layer. This is awful. There you go. All clean. I got that drawing from another. Oh, wait, no. That's a different picture. I've got that one too. That would be this one. I know they look the same. Ever so slightly different, though. I actually like this one. Maybe I'll redraw this one and this one. I like the big arms. Like, this one radiates, like, do you have games on your phone type energy. Alright, I want to keep this simple. I don't want to do too many extra lines. There you go. She looks so stupid. I love it. Now, I might edit the hand on the other side just because it's smaller than this one. And I get it, like, because perspective and stuff, but I also want it to be a big hand because big hands, you know? I might make it a little bit bigger on the other side. There you go. Oh, wait. There you go. Not that time.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hello, gorgeous. Welcome in, Fox. How you doing? Oh my god, Fox. Your me had a fight with Darth Goofy. And you almost weren't friends anymore. I fixed it though. You guys are friends again. But you almost lost your very first friend on the island. I don't even know what you fought about. You were just fighting. What? I don't know, man. I don't know if you pissed off Goofy or Goofy pissed you off. I don't know. But it's fine, because you're friends now. I fixed it. No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. The crisis was averted. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you. All in a day's work. I can't have my me's not being friends with each other, you know? It's awkward. They don't talk to each other and then nothing happens. I think I'm getting hungry actually, if I can be honest. Why are you laughing? It's true. I mean, we only have the... what, like the carbonara? There's probably only enough for one person in there. Oh yeah? I mean, yeah, and then we can, yeah, and then tomorrow I'll make the fried rice. Oh, that is a lot. Yes, because it'll deflate in the bowl. Sorry, chat, I'm hungry. It's not like we went out to eat or anything. It's true. I had a salad. It was great. Excuse you? This is the worst part, drawing the eyes. I think I do want them to be like round at the bottom. I think these eyes are way too big, but then if I make them smaller, it takes away from the appeal of the meme. Almost had it. I'll take that. There we go. There we go. And then we can just... This is on a different layer, right? Yeah. Yes. Perfect. Oh my god, that eye is huge. I could probably be really cheeky and copy paste this eye and like warp it to be what I need it to be. There we go. And then for this middle bit, it's probably honestly better if it's not perfectly round, but I want it to be round enough. Sup, silly Sylvie? Hi. How you doing?
Gorgeous.
Hello, gorgeous. My knee really hurts, so I don't know how long we're gonna be drawing today. We're probably gonna finish this gooby. And I also have some lunch coming, so we might sit down and like watch something while I eat my lunch. I don't really like eating during the art section of the stream because I can't do both. But I'm hungry, so oopsie. This looks awful. I might... It sucks because the texture's not the same, but I might just... There we go. I just wish I could edit the, like, circle tool to match the texture of whatever brush I'm using. Do that. I'm sure you can, actually. There's most definitely a way to do it. Thoughts on the alleged zombie sightings? I think it might be AI. I think it might be AI. I don't really know what else to make of it right now. We live in an age where it's very difficult to just like believe whatever you're being shown. So I'm having a hard time. I think I might redo this wing and just have it like come upwards a little more. I think it's just tweakers. I mean, that's also true. I mean, also a possibility is what I meant to say. Yeah, it could just be a bunch of tweakers. I suppose only time will tell. But yeah, I think it's, yeah, either AI or just like someone who got a little too doped up and then people online saw it and decided that they wanted to try and fearmonger for no reason. Alright, I'm gonna copy paste this eye. Flip it. This might not work. I might have to redraw this eye anyway. Yeah, I think I have to redraw it anyway. That's fine. We'll do that. But this can go here. Meth is a powerful drug. I've been told. I've been told. Why does this eye go like that? Is that what it does on this one? It is. Okay. Because I did use that old one as a base for this one, so... There we go. Getting warm. It's finally reaching a point where it's cold enough for me to wear my sweatpants outside. Like the ones that I specifically bought for cold weather. We're like approaching the end of... Not approaching the end of winter. We're approaching the last month of winter. We're about to enter spring in like a month. And it only just now got cold enough for me to wear my winter pants. My winter sweatpants. Personally, I think we're gonna have a zombie apocalypse, so I broke into a museum and stole a bayonet and knight armor. Jeez. The knight armor?
Yeah, that armor's too heavy.
Yeah.
The bayonet, I mean, if you're just using it as a weapon.
Hal's got some critiques for your zombie apocalypse setup.
Well, no, not really.
Yeah, you do. You said it was too heavy.
Well, it's too heavy.
And too loud.
I mean, it just depends how you're planning to use it. And also, if you want to use the bayonet as like a gun weapon, how you gonna find like the materials to keep firing?
That's true, it's true. Ammo will become a very finite resource really quick.
And then maintenance might be really difficult.
Yeah, I suppose.
Also, it'd be really old, so it might be very fragile.
Wow, you do not like this idea. That's what you're saying.
It's not things.
Tell me you think he has a stupid idea without telling me you think he has a stupid idea.
Don't joke it.
Well, now they want to know what your zombie apocalypse plan is.
Oh, I'd probably die.
Oh. Chat deadass, he just said, oh, I'd probably die.
I'll go the basic, a long stick,
Mhm.
with a sharp point,
Yeah.
and a bicycle.
Okay. Long stick with a sharp point and a bicycle. That's his plan. Bicycle's a good idea, definitely.
Easily replaceable parts, it's silent, you can pick it up.
Mostly silent, yeah.
It should be pretty quiet, I don't see why you like to make noise.
I mean, it depends on the terrain, I suppose. And the upkeep of the bike.
Or then walking with loud.
Shut up. I do agree with the bike idea.
The stick is easy to forge, easy to carry, it's lightweight, with a sharp point, you can really like, but it won't get stuck in them.
Yeah,
And it's more for pushing them out of the way than killing them, because killing them is not going to take very long.
yeah.
It's about moving, keeping mobile.
Yeah. I mean, like, I have an idea of what I would do, but I'm also too short to execute my own idea, unfortunately. There is... I'm sure I've talked to Hal about this before because I mention it a lot when we're talking about Forget-Me-Not, but there is, like, a soft bit of skin where the skull stops and the spine begins, and it connects your entire nervous system to your brain, and it's like the soft base part of your head, and if you just get a knife straight in there, you can completely sever, like, someone's nervous system. It doesn't kill them, but it completely immobilizes them. But yeah, I'm too short to pull that off. What are zombies gonna do against knight armor? The rotting jaws aren't gonna get through forged steel. I mean, it still doesn't make your life any easier because it's loud, and that'll attract the zombies. And you'd have to, like, if you have time to train yourself to be able to be mobile in the armor, then I guess you'd be okay because you'd be able to get away from the zombies regardless. But it's just gonna make traveling difficult. Why do you know this? What do you mean, why do we know this? Why don't you know this? I fight an armor every 2 weeks. Well then, at least you'll have the mobility then. This eyebrow's too thick. I originally liked the thicker eyebrows, but I think they were just a little too thick, so I'm just gonna pull it up. There you go. If I was in a zombie apocalypse, I'd probably use Molotov cocktails. Ooh. Very reliable. Except, like, alcohol would also be a really finite resource. I feel like alcohol would be more sought after than, like, bullets. You know what I mean?
The alcohol lasts pretty much forever, and there is a huge abundance of it, so it could be very reliable for a while, and you swaps out for gasoline and oil.
That's true, but gasoline would also be really sought after because people would want it for, like, whatever generators or cars that they have and are using.
Which is very true. It's not perfect, but it is very viable for a very long time, and it's easy to make, like an idiot can run together.
It's true, it's true, it's true.
You don't need a lot of technical know-how.
It's true, you don't really, like, anybody can make a collartail Moktov is what I was gonna say. A collartail Moktov. If I had a zombie weapon of choice, it'd probably be a halberd, decent range. Oh, a halberd. I don't know what a halberd is. A halberd. Yeah.
Good choice. That's like my pointy stick, but better.
Oh, okay. It's like a pointy stick. Okay. Chainmail would probably be enough, but knight armor just has more aura. Do you really need aura points in the zombie apocalypse, though? I'm like genuinely asking, do we really need I mean, I guess it would be good to kind of sway like raiders from coming after you because the zombies won't be the only thing you have to worry about. You also have to worry about people coming to try and raid you for your resources. Alright, hang on. Hal hates me. He didn't give me a spoon for my fettuccine. I'll be right back. I'm back. I have a spoon. Halberd's like 500 years of weapon evolution turned into the most efficient yet most out of your metal weapon. Ooh. I think a hatchet would be a fun idea. It wouldn't be good for mowing down zombies, not unless you have like the raw physical strength to like commit to cutting through bone. But it would definitely at least help you knock them back, and it's versatile for a lot of other options, you know? Like stuff that doesn't have to do with zombies. I'm eating right now, chat. We can have zombie chat while I eat my lunch. My lunch? Yeah, it's 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m.? Oh my goodness. I forgot I started late. Hook someone, stab them, cut them, keep enemies at bay. Ooh. You know what? This really makes me nostalgic for a Minecraft Walking Dead server that I used to play on like 10 years ago. I can't go back to it though because it's changed a lot and it's basically become like pay to win type shit and I really don't like it. But it used to be really fucking fun. Ooh, a katana and a dual-edged axe. I think the axe would definitely be fun. Would a katana really be that effective in a zombie apocalypse? I'm not entirely sure. See, for me, I want a weapon that would have a decent amount of uses outside of slaying zombies, which is why I go for, like, the axe or the Swiss Army knife or, you know, like, stuff like that. Especially in a world where, like, you won't really be able to carry everything you need. So if you can have something that doubles up as a weapon and has a practical use outside of that, then it's less for you to carry as well. The upkeep of a katana. Yeah. I can see a katana needing a lot of upkeep, honestly. I wouldn't know. I don't know anything about them. If you want a weapon, you should go for blunt objects because blades wither and dull over time. It's true. Like, you can sharpen blades, but that doesn't, like, that's not making it permanently viable. That's why the baseball bat's like a classic. Or like if you're Australian or British, I guess maybe a cricket bat. But I guess it really depends on if you're planning on killing zombies, or if you're just planning to, like, you know, have a weapon to push them out of the way while you get to safety. I'd go maul or a maze? Ooh. A sledgehammer. If you have the strength behind it, then yeah, a sledgehammer would also work really well. Sharpening or shaving off material to make it sharper, so there's not much you can shave. That's what I mean, like, it doesn't make it an infinite source, it just kind of extends its lifetime. But you can't really rely on, like guns or stuff that requires any type of ammo either, because that will become like a limited resource as well. I'm trying to think what else we would do. I used to have this chat, like, a lot. Especially when I was in high school. I don't know, it was very popular, like, hypothetical in high school. I used to know someone who was like, oh, if the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm gonna hijack a bus. And I'm like, what? And it was, yeah, I'm gonna hijack a bus. I'm gonna, like, find, like, a cliffside or whatever, and I'm gonna block off the entrance to that cliffside with the bus. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, yeah, and then we'll, like, cultivate the land and, like, grow food and stuff, and we'll be safe because they won't be able to get by the bus. And I'm like, I understand the sentiment, but I don't think that would work. I would say go for a bat, because even if it breaks, you now have a sharp stick. That's very true. Very true. The safest place would be islands. Yeah, and luckily for me, Australia is an island, so... as long as the apocalypse doesn't start in Australia, we should be relatively fine. It's a big island, but it is still an island. I have a katana, can confirm the high maintenance. Yeah. It's not something I would really think about, but when you say it, it makes perfect sense. What's your go-to plan, chat? What's your go-to zombie apocalypse plan? Like, where do you go? What do you pack? Who do you tell? Do you tell anyone? Do you bring anyone with you? There was a show called Last Kids on Earth, and to this day it's one of my favorites. I think I saw my sibling watching that one time. And I was like so confused because turning a zombie apocalypse into a show meant for like kids or like late grade schoolers, that was the demographic that they were going for. I was like, that's really interesting. How are they gonna get through the brutality of a zombie apocalypse for a demographic like that? I didn't end up watching it to find out, but I am really curious. That's something that's on my to-watch list. I would like to see how they did a zombie apocalypse for a younger demographic. I'm almost done with my lunch chat, don't worry. No spoilers, but you won't be disappointed. I have a feeling I won't be. Because I didn't watch much, but from the animation quality alone, I was like, damn, this looks pretty good. Katanas are generally made from much lower quality material than European swords. Japan had a few real natural iron resources to work with. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I believe that. They developed swords around that. That's pretty cool. Hello, Bologna woman, welcome in. We're talking about our go-to weapon and our go-to plan for when the zombie apocalypse happens. I'm curious what chat's thoughts and feelings are on that. If you're not into the show, it's based off a book. Ooh! Now I have to read the book. It's kind of like The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is so different between the show and the comic. So I started watching the show and I have like a compendium. It's not a complete compendium, but I have like the first part of the Walking Dead comic compendium. I would love to go through the entire comic series and the entire TV show, but I always end up stopping either end of season 3 or start of season 4 because I try to binge the series and then I get burnt out. A Wandering Night sounds really fun. It also sounds kind of lonely though. And because you're always wandering, you won't be able to keep a lot of resources on hand. I would have to be stationary in some sort of camp. At least in my current state, because my knee is absolutely fucked. Like, on a bad day, with my knee pain, a zombie is probably faster than me, you know what I mean? Welcome back, Bologna. I wasn't sure if you heard me, but we're talking about our zombie apocalypse plans. Like our go-to weapons, our go-to, like, inventory, where we would go, what we'd do. If you're dead set on a useful weapon, a club is probably the way to go. I reckon so. I reckon a club would be decent. The only problem with physical weapons is you have to have the physical strength to put behind them. Like, a bat's no good if you don't have enough force to put into it. I'd sit and cry. I'm so sorry, Elena. I'm so sorry. I know a lot about zombie apocalypse. I could probably give other people knowledge, but I wouldn't last a day. That's the thing, like, you could know a lot, but if you're not physically capable, you probably will go first. Like, I don't know. I don't think I would last very long. Hello, Ramigo. Welcome in. How you doing? Probably go to my aunt's in the countryside. I like that idea. I don't have any family that lives out in the outback. If you're in like Orange or something, you'll probably be safe, provided that the virus doesn't also affect animals. If it only affects humans, then yeah, you could live out in the middle of Orange and not much of your life would probably change, you know what I mean? But I don't know anyone who lives out in Orange. Small farming town, but the people here are assholes and I don't want to deal with them. Hello, entity, welcome in. How you doing? We're having zombie apocalypse chat. I feel like I would probably go to my parents first, but we wouldn't stay there long. Not at all. They have like a decent backyard and my mom actually has started growing like fruit. So that would be a decent start, but I don't think we would stay there very long. I would probably just go to my parents first to help them, like, unload the 2 vans that my dad's got. My dad's got, like, 2 vans because he hasn't gotten rid of his old one yet. So we'd probably, like, unpack the vans of his work gear, pack them up with whatever we need, like, maybe try and turn them into a place where we could actually stay inside them. As opposed to just a work van, and then we would probably set off from there. Where we would go after that, I don't know. My mum will probably be dead set on picking up all of her family members, but I think if we do that, eventually one of us is gonna end up dead. Because we're gonna end up getting to at least one of my family members too late. That's just how these things go. If there's a zombie apocalypse, it would most likely be some kind of spore or fungus like The Last of Us. Yeah, probably. There's a fungus that controls ants' brains. That's true. Yeah, I've seen that one. I'd be making a night order. It'd be the order of unnecessary backflips. And we go around killing zombies and helping people to safety. Aw, that's cute. And then open an order home inside a monastery. I feel like I would really be at home. I would really be at home at like a monastery in a zombie apocalypse. I really like that vibe, actually. That's true, it is Sonic's 35th anniversary today. I saw everyone celebrating it on Twitter, and not on Twitter, on Bluesky, and I was like, do I play a Sonic-related game today? And I don't have the energy to, so we're not going to. I remember as a kid, I used to be so hyped for Sonic's anniversary because Sonic was like my entire identity. It's still like a decent chunk of my identity now, but it's not like, you know. I will be fine. Alright, I think... Whoops. I did that wrong. There we go. Trying to keep it simple. It all depends on fast or slow zombies. I am hoping for my own sake that it's the traditional slow zombie. I feel like it would be, at least later on, because as the body decays and it starts to enter like rigor mortis and stuff like that, all of the muscles and like tendons will stiffen up, which will make movement significantly harder, which in turn would make them slower. There's also chronic wasting disease, better known as the zombie deer virus. I didn't know what chronic wasting disease was, and then you said the zombie deer virus, and I was like, oh no, I do know what that is. Oh my god, it's time for a sippy. I hope my tea's cool enough. My tea is still too hot, so it will be water. Water sippy. Excellent. Fast zombies are just quicker kill counts. I feel like, yeah. I feel like a lot less people would die if the zombies were traditional slow type zombies. A lot of people would still die, but it wouldn't be nearly as high as, like, zombies that could run. Or, like, you know, do parkour or whatever it is that zombies want to do these days. I meant my kill count. Well, actually, I feel like slower zombies would make your kill count higher because they're less likely to be able to escape, right? I feel like slower zombies would be better for that. There we go. Nice and clean. Oh, that's true, you would be slow with the armor. But the armor is loud, which would draw the zombies towards you. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I fuck with it. I'm still trying to think about what my plan would realistically be. Because, yeah, I would definitely go to my parents first. But truth be told, I don't think my mother would last very long in the zombie apocalypse, and it's got nothing to do with her, like, survival capabilities, and everything to do with the fact that my mum has so many different autoimmune diseases, that, like, I don't really know exactly how to word it, but, like, basically her nervous system, her immune system is, like, slowly eating at all of her organs. And it's like, without all of her medication, she wouldn't last long. And once she goes, it's only a matter of time before my dad dies of a broken heart, you know what I mean? So it's like, would it actually be a good idea to go to my parents first? It would be for the vans. It would be, because once they, like, you know, die, we would still have access to the van, but it feels really fucked up thinking about it like that, you know what I mean? In this hypothetical, that's not gonna happen. If I'm in a zombie apocalypse, I'm jumping into a fire. My body is ash, it cannot be infected. That's true. You would also be dead though. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, my little baby. Oh, my little baby. There's some details that I forgot to add, but... Little baby. Alright, I can try and draw the stars, but it probably won't look good. Yeah. Oh my god, how did I do it again? You know, chat, I've been an artist basically my entire life, and I only learned how to draw these stars maybe like a year ago. Alright, that'll do. There you go. Little stars. I think I gotta draw her pocket. Because you won't really see the overall, like, sleeves, but you might see her pocket a little bit. I would not recommend the night plan in the USA. In Germany, there's stricter gun laws. Most raiders wouldn't get guns. That's so true. Like, because in America, everyone have a gun. But again, ammo is a limited resource. So it'd only be a matter of time before they'd have to ditch that. Burning alive is the #1 most painful thing you could experience. That's true. I have to agree with that. Zombie apocalypse also has so much psychological horror in it. Yeah. Yeah. It's all fun and games until the love of your life gets infected, you know what I mean? Or your family, or your dog, or like, you know? Not to mention people just turn into really horrible, shitty people, and it's like, damn, is humanity like even worth it at this point? And I have no doubt in my mind that it will not play out exactly how it does in media. You know what I mean? No doubt in my mind, because the AI situation, the current AI situation is playing out exactly how people write it in their fiction. Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It's happening exactly like that. So I have no doubt in my mind the zombie apocalypse will also play out exactly like that. Alright, time for the eyes. I did draw the eyes like this in the sample work, but I think I want them to be like what the final model has. Should be this one. It's a big file, so forgive it. Ear, hair. Oh, here we go, eyes. I hate AI. Yeah. Yeah. You're in the right place for it. For hating AI, I mean. Right, here we go. Like, I don't understand the appeal of it. Like, okay, that's a lie. I do understand the appeal of it, but like, I don't understand how people could, how do I say this nicely? Be so dumb. You know what I mean? Because like, when AI really first became a thing in like 2022, 2023, everybody was playing with it, myself included. Myself included. I'm not gonna shy away from that. I played around with like AI storytellers or like AI DMs and stuff like that, like dungeon masters, not private messages, and it was fun. It was really good. And then you learn a bit more about it and a bit more about what it's costing the environment and what it's costing the creatives, like the human-made like projects in the world, and you're like, that's kind of scummy, actually. I don't like that. I think I would rather learn how to do a craft myself than get AI to do it for me. And then you have people who learned all of that and they're like, but I still like AI, so I'm still gonna do it. And I'm like, okay. You could just say that you hate artists. You could just say that you hate artists, you know? I used ChatGPT to do the roleplay things, but when I found out how bad it was, I stopped. I feel like everybody played with AI. I'm not gonna have a go at people for, like, playing around with AI in 2022, 2023, maybe early 2024, but that's pushing it. But if you, like, became aware of the damage that it does and you still chose to interact with it, that's kind of when I have a problem, you know? It's a lot like Claire Obscure Expedition 33. People were really mad that that game won Game of the Year. It won like 9 awards at the game show, the Game Awards or whatever it was called. And people were so mad that it won Game of the Year that they were looking for literally any reason to hate this game, and they found a single AI generated texture. One. And then when Sandfall Interactive talked about it, they said that in 2022 to 2023, they were experimenting with Gen AI and how they could incorporate that into their workflow. And then when they understood what AI is and where this generative content comes from, they stopped and they removed all of the AI assets, and there was one that slipped through the cracks, and that was one that the people found. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. They didn't know any better. Like, most people didn't know any better, and once they did, they removed it. That's fine. And then people were like, no, they use generative AI. They should be, like, shunned from the community. And I'm like, dude, in 2022, 2023, I bet that you were also playing with generative AI. Because nobody knew. Nobody fucking knew. If there's a game studio today working with generative AI in their projects today, then yeah, lambast them. But I don't think Sandfall Interactive deserved that. You said exactly what I did. Yeah, exactly. There's no harm. Like, if you don't know any better and you stop as soon as the information becomes like in front of you, then I don't think you deserve to get attacked for it. I think the AI apocalypse would be a lot harder to survive than the zombie apocalypse. Honestly, probably. Probably. Dev team, that's what I'm saying, bro. They used one AI texture, quick, public execution. It really bothers me as well, because people are like, oh, you're only supporting Sandfall Interactive because you like Clair Obscur. You like that game, so you want to defend it. And it's really heartbreaking because one of my favorite games of all time, the Professor Layton series, their development team has been working on incorporating AI into all of their projects, and now I have to boycott Professor Layton because I don't know if any of their work is, like, generative AI. And it really pisses me off when people are like, oh, you're only defending Clair Obscur because you like the game. Like, well, no. I'm literally screaming and crying and throwing up because my favorite dev team is going AI and I'm not allowed to play the newest installment in my favorite game series ever. Like, fuck off. Alright, these eyes are getting weird. I like it. I stopped using Gen AI when I learned the negative effects on artists. It made me despise AI when it started to affect gaming. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I don't know which, team it is. I honestly think it's Microsoft, but I could be wrong. There is a game studio that's working on an AI that will literally play your game for you. Like, if you get stuck on a section of a game, you can, like, turn on this feature and it'll, like, create an AI that will literally beat the game for you. And I'm not sure how I feel about that because there are different types of AI in the world. Like, we've had AI in our games long before generative AI, and that's another thing I want to talk about. I'm very anti-generative AI, but I do think that the phrase AI has become, like, such a trigger word that people get really upset and offended and up in arms about AI that is not generative. And AI that is not generative does have good, genuine, valid uses in society, in my opinion. It's specifically the type of AI that steals from creatives or hallucinates and makes up research papers and puts people in psychosis. Like, that's the kind of AI we should be worried about. You know what I mean? Like, not every form of AI is going to be inherently bad, but generative AI specifically is what we should really be looking out for and, like, bullying out of existence. Before the big boom of 2022, I think it was back in 2016. Yeah, exactly. Like, before anybody knew anything. Before anybody knew anything, which is, like, fair. It's kind of like how a bunch of people got really into smoking before people realized how bad smoking was for them. It sucks when one of your favorite insert product here starts using AI. Oh my god. Photoshop Toon Boom and Clip Studio Paint have all been caught using generative AI, and I'm like, dude, you guys are art programs. You guys are animation programs for creatives. What are you doing? My entire family uses AI, and I'm an artist. They do not care, bro. I had a really awkward moment at my family's house, like maybe like a month ago, 2 months ago. Hal and I were visiting for dinner, and sometimes my dad will just randomly turn on the TV and start playing like random videos. And he turned on the TV, and I was like, okay, classic dad. He's gonna put on like a dash cam video or something like that. And then he starts playing like AI generated baby Donald Trump and baby Kamala Harris videos. And Hal and I just kind of awkwardly looked at each other and we were like, do we say something? Do we make a scene out of this? It's his house. Do we... And we didn't say anything because we were like, this is really awkward. We don't know how to bring this up. And oh my god, he loves those videos. He loves the Gen AI Donald Trump videos. I don't know why. It's so bad. And then, like, my siblings were into the Gen AI, like, slop, like the Italian brain rot stuff. And my cousins are super into AI generated cat videos. And I'm like, how do I bring up that this is not a good thing? How do I do that? And then there was a second time where we were at my parents', and again, he brought up the AI-generated videos. And I don't remember what I said, but I think I said something about how AI steals from actual people. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of AI, I just don't like that it data scrapes from, like, creators online, or something like that. My dad didn't make a scene. My siblings didn't actually know that that's how AI worked. They were like, wait, really? Are you serious? I'm like, yeah, it's like, I'm being legit here. And then the next time I saw them, there was no AI on like the TV. And I actually heard one of my siblings make a vocal comment about how gross they think AI is now. And I'm like, damn, it could literally just be that my family does not know how AI works, and I'm too awkward to bring it up with them because, like, it's just something weird. It's weird. How do you talk to someone like, oh, this content that you think is harmless, that you actually enjoy, yeah, this is actually, like, destroying people's livelihoods as well as, like, the water, like, our water usage and shit like that. Like, how do you bring that up with somebody? I don't know if my parents still watch Gen AI videos, but I know at the very least that last time I went to see them, they didn't play them. Which, you know, maybe they're not watching them. Maybe they just know not to turn it on while I'm there because I'm gonna make a scene. I really couldn't tell ya. Back away very slowly. The less you move, the less he can see you. I don't know why that made me laugh. That was really good. Alright, I'm gonna turn the light on. It's a little bit dark in here. Give me a couple of seconds, chat. Alright, I'm back. I told my stepdad I wanted to make games and he said, I'll show you how to use AI to do that. Oh my god, wait, no. It's not my story to tell, but Hal has a story related to that. He had a coworker who built a program that really, really benefited, like, the place that he works. Like, his coworkers use that program every single day now, type shit. It, like, really helps streamline the process of, like, transferring from one program to another. And he gets so much praise for it, and he's like, oh yeah, it was no big deal, like, I just made this program that helps the entire company, it's no biggie. And he was talking to Hal, and I think they were talking about AI, and Hal is also very anti-Gen AI, as, you know, someone who's fucking an artist. And he was like talking about his stance against it, and his co-worker was like, oh yeah, no, I don't think AI is that bad. Like, I used AI to build the program. And Hal just kind of stops and he's like, you didn't even make the program? And his coworker kind of backpedals a little bit. It's like, oh no, I used it to help me because I didn't know how to do XYZ thing, so I just, you know, asked AI and AI built it for me and I put it in. And he's telling me the story and I'm like, oh my god, he's getting praise for building a program that he didn't even fucking build. And then when Hal kind of pointed out, like, oh, so you didn't build it, AI built it, his coworker got embarrassed. And I'm like, yeah, you should be embarrassed. That's embarrassing. Oh my god. The nerve to, like, use Gen AI to make something, put in, like, obviously he had to work with the coding somehow, but he didn't make the code, he didn't make the program. And then, like, getting, like, all the credit for it. Like, the fucking nerve, honestly. I'm sure the coworker is a good guy, I've never met him, but, like, oh. He's doing what to an artist? You heard me. You heard me. The program probably has so many bugs too. I wouldn't know. I don't work with the program. I think the program's only purpose was to help them transfer data from like an old program that they were using into a new program. They didn't want to import it all manually, and I think what he quote-unquote built was a program that automated the transfer of data over. So I don't fully understand what the program was or how it works, but they became very reliant on it for a little while at least. Hang on. I'm back. But yeah, it was like, it's so fucking weird, dude. And then, like, Hal had to do a class on how to write an email. He didn't have to do a class on how to write an email. His coworker had to do a class on how to write an email. And his boss didn't want to embarrass his coworker, so he made Hal go as well. And the course wasn't even about how to write an email. It was about how to use AI to write an email for you. And they were like, okay, for this course, you need to supply your own laptop and you also need to have one of these AI programs installed. And I'm like, no. And the funniest part is, when the course was over, they just went straight back to handwriting their emails. They don't use AI for their emails. So that company just wasted a bunch of money on a course that they're not going to use. What's the drawing program? I'm using Clip Studio Paint right now. It's an older version of it. I bought a permanent license for this version, I want to say, like, maybe 4 years ago, maybe longer, like 5 years ago. I've been wanting to update to the newer versions of Clip Studio for a while. I've just never quite had the money for it. Because the commission money I get, like, pays my rent, pays my bills, pays, like, my health insurance. So I don't have the money to get a newer version. But it was a permanent license. It wasn't a subscription, which is really nice. I heard recently that Toon Boom, actually I think it was last year, Toon Boom got rid of their permanent license option. So they've gone purely subscription based now, and I'm a little bit annoyed because I was saving up to get a permanent Toon Boom license and now it's gone. And I don't make enough money off my animated commissions and my animated projects to justify paying $1,000 a year. $1,000 US a year, which is like, what, between $1,300 and $1,400 a year for me. So I think I might try and start learning a different animation program. I know how to use Adobe Animate, but that's also purely subscription based. I don't know. The creative sphere just kind of sucks right now. I use Critter. I've heard a lot of people use Critter and what's the other one? GIMP. A lot of artists have been recommending GIMP recently because GIMP apparently is open source. So you can have a whole bunch of like community built plugins added to it. Honestly, it was a bit rough for me to even try Clip Studio to begin with. I wanted to move on from Photoshop, which is what I had been using since I was like 12, since I was 12, because I started high school at 12. So I had been using it at that point in time for about 10 or 11 years. And one of my friends had tried Clip Studio Paint and they were like, oh my god, this is so cool, this is my new main program, I never want to use anything else ever again. And I don't really like trying new things, but I was desperate to move on from Photoshop. So I got the free trial for this program. And there's a lot of things that Photoshop does that this program doesn't do, but it's so close that like I don't even really notice it unless a commissioner asks me for something incredibly specific. Like, it's such a silly feature, and I'm sure the newer version of Clip Studio has it, but because again, my version is like 4 or 5 years old. But one feature that I really wanted from this program was the ability to put text on a curve. Instead of only like perfectly horizontal or perfectly vertical text, I wanted to be able to put text on a curve, and this, at least this version of Clip Studio Paint just can't do that. I'm sure newer versions would be able to. Where does high school start at 12? I'm in Australia. High school starts in 7th grade. And I started my education when I was 4 turning 5, rather than 5 turning 6. So most of my most of the kids I was going to school with would have been 12 turning 13 when they started high school. I was 11 turning 12 when I started high school. That does check out, right? Hang on. Wait, that might not check out. 1 second. I graduated in 2017. I was 17 in 2017. So 16 was 11th. 15 was 10th. 14 was 9th. 13. No, that does check out. I was 11 turning 12. I used Photoshop for about 3 years. Yeah. Photoshop's really nice. It's such a shame that Adobe is the way that it is, because Photoshop has such quality of life things that I just need in my art programs. Like, you can import GIFs and MP4 files into Photoshop, and you can't, as far as I'm aware, you can't do that with Clip Studio, or this version of Clip Studio. You can like put text on a curve. There's a lot of photo manipulating that these programs don't have, because Photoshop, first and foremost, is a photo editing program. But I don't really edit photos very often. I might do some light editing when I take photos for my Etsy store, but I don't do it super often. Oops, I thought I had the bucket. There we go. And get coffee. Enjoy your coffee, Kyra. Have fun. I don't want to add... Actually, no, I think I do want to add highlights to this piece. I think the other pieces have highlights on them. Yeah, this one does. And this one does. Okay. I got a Temu ad for a baby stroller and they had a real baby inside it. Oh my god. They're showing all its features and at the end they fold it together, but in The scene just before the baby was still in the stroller. Oh my god, no, they folded the baby into the stroller. That sounds like a Temu ad, honestly. I used Dreamweaver when COVID stuck. I have heard of Dreamweaver. I never used Dreamweaver. What is that one again? I remember when they announced Adobe Fresco, and I was super excited for Adobe Fresco because of the technology with the brushes. Like, the brushes kind of moved and behaved like physical painting. I don't know how to describe it better than that, but it was like live. And I was like, damn, that looks so cool. And then I tried to use it on my iPad because I still had an Adobe subscription at that point in time. And it chugged my iPad so much because it was a new program and the technology and the brushes, and I was like, I cannot use this. I cannot use this. And then I never tried it on a PC or a laptop. I never tried Fresco after that. Oh, the website builder. Okay, yeah. I do know what that is. I never tried that. I used Wix to build all of the websites that, well, all of the 2 websites that I have. I have an old portfolio website, which is in heavy, desperate need of being upgraded. And I also have forgetmenotcomics.com. I didn't buy the domain. I still need to buy the domain, but it's basically the hub where you can read my graphic novel outside of like webtoons and global comics and stuff like that. And I kind of want to steer away from Wix now because it was super easy to set up. It was super fun to like do because it's mostly a visual based program. You don't necessarily need to code anything if you don't want to. But they also have a lot of very heavy AI usage now, and I don't want that, like, with my stuff. I also have a Shopify store, but I'm closing it down for a couple of reasons. The main reason is that, because I'm not the best at marketing, it's not pulling in the kind of revenue that I need it to pull in. At least with my Etsy store, I had the passive marketing of just showing up in search results. But the other reason that I didn't talk about when I made my, I'm leaving Shopify TikTok is the fact that Shopify now has a feature that allows people to access your store using ChatGPT. Which means that my store, whether I want it or not, because you can't opt out, is now accessible and being read and accessed by AI. And I really didn't want that. So I was like, okay, that happened back in like April. And I wasn't quite sure what it meant, so I didn't act on it. But now I have a better understanding of what it means. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I don't want that. I'm just gonna leave Shopify. And I know Etsy also has a really bad AI problem. The only reason I'm going back to Etsy instead of trying a new program or a new platform is I already have everything set up on Etsy. Everything is already ready to go. I don't need to verify anything. I already have an existing frequent return customer base over on Etsy. So at least until I find either the budget to have my own website or another platform like Etsy that doesn't use AI content, I'm gonna stick with Etsy for a little while because I don't want to completely shut down my store, but I do need to find somewhere else for it to live, and I don't want to pay for Shopify while I'm looking for that new place. You know what I mean, chat? I don't know, every time I mention that I'm returning to Etsy, I have like this this feeling in my gut where it's like, oh, you have to defend yourself now, because everybody knows that Etsy has a lot of problems with AI content and generative AI. And I don't want to support Etsy, but at the moment my store's got nowhere else to go. So, you know how it is. It's going everywhere. You're just gonna have to bite the bullet at some point. At some point, yeah. At some point, eventually, it'll be unavoidable to escape AI, and it's just gonna become a core part of everyday life. But I'm gonna try and ride it out as long as I can. I feel like I wanna try and avoid falling into that for as long as possible. Oh, I totally forgot. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna grab all these. I'm gonna duplicate them, and then we're gonna merge these selected ones. There we go. Nobody's gonna judge you. You're being in your own head about it. You're probably right. You're probably right. But in the art sphere, I don't know. The art sphere has gotten very vicious lately. And even though I'm not really super into any particular community or network outside of my own, I'm always worried that an outsider is gonna hear what I have to say and be like, oh, that's awful. I'm gonna attack you now. I'm like, dude, I really don't want that. I'm just in my own little corner. Doing, or trying to do what I think is right, you know what I mean? I don't like how that turned out. Oh, I don't need this anymore. I don't need this one anymore either. I like how the shadows for this one turned out. And of course it's all merged together. Okay. Let's see. I think I just want to change the shadow for the skin. I think that's the only thing that really needs to be changed. Oh, it actually looks worse. Nope, never mind. I'm trying to think. I don't think it's too much, I think. Alright, hang on. I'm trying to figure out my idea. I'm gonna soft brush this bit. Hang on. Like that. Soft brush this bit. Soft brush here. No. Like this. No. My problem is I think some areas are too dark and some areas are not dark enough. So I'm trying to use the airbrush to kind of balance it out a little bit. I think 32 is too high. What about 23? I think 23 is fine. Alright, we're gonna leave that as it is. Now we can add some highlights. How do I want to do this? I think I want, like, from here to here. You know, I was saying this to Hal earlier, but I cannot believe that I live in a world where I'm excited for GTA 6. GTA never really looked like my thing. It wasn't until GTA 5 was available for free on PlayStation Plus that I was like, ooh, okay, maybe I will give it a try. And then I fell in love with it. I miss GTA 5, man. I miss it. There's so much of that game that I haven't seen. I just needed a bit of a break, and now I'm like, damn, I want that game back in my life, bro. And now GTA 6 is coming, and I'm like, ah, oh, fuck me, dude. I saw the size difference in the map between GTA 5 and GTA 6, and oh boy. The only problem is there's no way in hell I'll be able to afford GTA 6 on release. It's just not gonna happen. It's the art space, it's always been vicious. I agree. Don't give a fuck and just do what works. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just tired of everyone, like, the performative virtue signaling and shit that comes with not just the art space, but, like, being online in general. It's kind of sort of annoying. We don't need that energy anymore. Everyone is so, like, all or nothing. And I'm like, dude, people can have opinions that you disagree with and not be shitty people. There we go. I'm still trying to figure out, like, how I want my highlight style to look. It looks a little different for each piece. Like, this one really focuses on the rings and, like, the diamonds that I like to do. I don't know if I really like it, but oh well. There you go. You know what I forgot to do? I'm just gonna copy this. I like to put the little dark spots. Why is this so much darker? I want this color. Damn it. Alright, well. There we go. Got it. Oh, that's why. It's still a multiply layer. I like to put these little dark spots in the middle. I don't know why. Oh, why am I not drawing? Oh, there we go. My pen just gave up on me for a minute. Okay. Ugh. Oh, my tea is the perfect temperature right now. God, I love a good cup of tea. There we go. Oh, and on this side. There's so much that I want to do for the streams. The main thing I'm looking at right now is moving over to StreamerBot. I don't know if moving to StreamerBot is actually going to be a good idea for me, because looking at the way Hal has his setup, like, all of the files exist on OBS, and it looks like all StreamerBot does is turn those layers on and off, which can make OBS, like, run a little bit chunky if your PC isn't capable of handling it. I would like to migrate to StreamerBot, because StreamerBot has a lot more cool things that I just can't do on my current setup with Mix It Up. But at the same time, if that's how StreamerBot runs and everything is through OBS and it doesn't run on its own separate thing, then I don't know if my OBS will be able to handle it. So I'm gonna try a couple of things. I don't know when, but I'm gonna try a couple of things and see if it ends up working out for me. God, I can't get this. Go like this. There we go. What do you want? Oh, it's TikTok. I need to turn TikTok notifications off. I don't even use TikTok. I just kind of post there. Did you watch the Imagine Dessert? I did. I think, are we in the period where I said we can talk about it on stream now? I think we are. We had like a little section, not a little section, we had a little period when the movie came out where we were like, yeah, we are? Okay, good. We had a little, thing when the movie came out where like I wasn't letting anyone talk about it in chat because I wanted people to have a chance to watch the movie. But now that the movie is free to watch on YouTube, I think we can talk about it. It was a good episode, the final episode. I don't think a lot of the material that was in there should have been a final episode. I think the Digital Circus needed at least 1 or 2 more episodes to be, in my opinion, the satisfaction that I personally wanted. I don't think the Jax revelation should have been connected to the finale. I think the Jax and the finale should have been 2 separate things. I wanted to see more of the other circus members, and the only reason I feel that way is because very early on, Gooseworks said that every character was gonna get a episode focused on them. But outside of, like, Kinga got, like, maybe half an episode, and then other things sprinkled in here and there. Gangle got her episode. Zubul didn't get anything, and neither did Ragatha. They just got little bits about their past lives sprinkled in throughout other episodes. So I would have liked if Jax had to have multiple episodes dedicated to him, because, like, you know, the Guns episode is dedicated to Jax. What was episode 7 again? I don't remember, but Jax had already had a dedicated episode to him, so if he needed more, which obviously he did, I would have liked for it not to be tied to the finale, and then have the finale kind of be where every other character gets a chance to shine. What were my other opinions? There were a lot of things that didn't quite make sense to me, but now that I'm, like, trying to talk about it, it's, like, escaping my brain. When it came out on YouTube, I re-watched it with Hal, and watching it the second time in the comfort of our own living room instead of in a theater with a bunch of people who don't understand what theater etiquette is, we were kind of able to dissect it a little better. But yeah, it was a good episode. I just feel like the Jax arc and the actual finale part of the episode should have been split. Brain search freeze. Yeah, that's basically what I've got right now. The one thing that does annoy me, actually, I am remembering one. To the people in the chat, I am gonna mention a very direct spoiler to the episode, so keep that in mind. But something that I really didn't like, or that kind of, at least to me, didn't fully make sense, was what happened with Pomni and Jax. Because Pomni and the rest of the crew tried so hard to stick together as a team, and were like, yeah, no, we're not, like, letting each other go. We're not gonna let each other, like, go off into the distance and abstract. Like, we need to stick together as a team right now. But then when Jax goes to reach out to Pomni, and then he chickens out and he's like, no, forget it. Like, they just let him go and be isolated, and then that results in what it results in. And it's like, that didn't really make sense to me, because Pomni's entire thing was that she wanted everyone to stick together, she wanted everyone to be safe and have a life in the circus. She was probably Jax's biggest advocate, and then she just kind of lets him wander off on his own, knowing the situation that they're in, knowing what could happen if he's left alone for too long. And then she goes, I wish I would have pried more. And I'm like, I honestly think it's very out of character that she didn't pry more. I feel like they kind of had to rewrite a part of Pomni's personality for that scene to work. The first half of the episode felt good, but the second half felt rushed. I think the Jax stuff was written really well, but the actual finale stuff was, like, a little bit rushed. And, like, honestly, if that's how Goose wanted it to end, then, like, you know, it's her work. Like, she can end her series however she wants. I just feel like there was a lot of potential there that didn't quite manifest. There's also a lot of questions that don't get answered, and I know the whole idea is like, oh, like, it doesn't really matter, because what matters is that they're here now and they're happy now, and, like, to some extent, I agree. I fully believe that most of the time you don't, when it comes to storytelling, you don't need to know why something happened in order to, like, actually get anything out of the story. My biggest example of that is The Walking Dead, when they were like, oh, the virus came from aliens. Like, I really hate that. I really don't like that we know where it came from, and I also am just not a big fan of, like, aliens, so I was really bummed out when I found out that it was an alien thing. So I'm a big advocate for you don't need to know why something happened to understand the ramifications in a story, but there's a lot of stuff that didn't get answered in the Digital Circus in a way that didn't feel satisfying to me. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way too. I'm just glad for Goose's sake that the show is over and she can finally rest. Actually, I'm curious what Glitch Productions is gonna do with their Toon Boom, with their 2D animation. Because like I was saying earlier, Toon Boom, like, got rid of their permanent license. Which is a really big thing for freelance artists and indie studios and stuff like that. Now, granted, with the amount of money that the Amazing Digital Circus alone has made, they probably don't need to worry about that. They could probably buy the 3-year license and, like, not even flinch. But I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Because a lot of the outcry with Toon Boom was, yeah, that it's ruining the indie animation sphere. Because now most, like, I want to say 9 out of 10 independents can't afford Toon Boom Premium. Which is the version of it that I use. But, you know, I have my own way of acquiring programs that I need that are too expensive. Gooseworks lost interest in her work because of the toxic fan. Yeah. And, like, I don't engage with fandoms of things that I like very often. Like, I will appreciate something from a distance. I might talk about it with my friends or my family, but I will not actively engage with fandom very often. And the Digital Circus fandom is a perfect example as to why. Like, I'm really glad that there are people that had good theater experiences where, like, you know, everyone was quiet, everyone was respectful and stuff like that. The Digital Circus in theaters was quite possibly one of the worst theater experiences I've ever had. And the entire time I was watching the movie, all I could think was maybe watching it in theaters was a mistake and I should have just waited until it came out. Like dead ass. It was so bad. I heard that there were instances where movie theater managers had to pause the video and threaten to kick people out because they were so loud. Our theater wasn't that bad, luckily, but oh my goodness. I went because, one, I like Digital Circus, and two, I really wanted to support an Australian-owned independent animation studio. But holy hell, I don't know if I would do that again. My 4 minigames are a perfect example. You just don't engage with fandom. just don't do it. I'm glad you had a good theater experience, Rogue. I'm really glad that there are people that had good theater experiences. Mine was not. And to be fair, mine probably wasn't because I went literally the day after the movie dropped. You know? I went day 2. So, obviously, I'm gonna get a lot of the fanatics, a lot of the, you know, overly obsessed fans. But I think it's really interesting, in my personal opinion, that the worst theater experience I ever had was The Amazing Digital Circus, which is an independent YouTube series, and the best theater experience I ever had was Iron Lung. I just think that's really funny. I love Markiplier fans. They're so kind and respectful and just... I love them. They're really great. Better than the Minecraft movie from what I heard. From what I've heard, yeah, it's not Minecraft movie levels bad, but I didn't go to see Minecraft movie in theaters, so... I was actually genuinely scared too, actually. And I actually still haven't seen the Minecraft movie. That might be something that we watch on the Discord server. We might do a Minecraft movie watch together. That could be really funny. League, Dead by Daylight, Overwatch, and For Honor. For Honor has a toxic fandom? Really? The other 3 make perfect sense. My cousins play For Honor. One of them recently had a baby. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking about the type of person my cousin and my cousin's brother and my cousin's husband are, and it suddenly makes sense that For Honor has a toxic fandom. Don't worry. I get it. I had to stop 20 minutes in? God, that sounds awful. There's another movie that I'm really scared to see in theaters, and that's the Epic the Musical movie adaptation when it finally drops. It only got announced this year, so it's probably not going to drop for another year or 2 years. But I'm really nervous for that one, because from what I've seen, the fandom is like, hey, we're not going to sing in the theater. We're like, you know, we're here to listen to the actors sing, not you. But I'm really worried that the specific session that I pay to see is gonna have all of the people who want to sing the songs, and I'm gonna get really annoyed. And here's the thing, I'm not against, like, the way I say it makes it sound like I'm anti-fun. I've got nothing against people singing songs or quoting movies, like, that they're watching in the comfort of their own home. You know? in your own home, with people you trust, with your friends, with your family, you can do whatever the fuck you want when you play a film. But in a theater with a bunch of strangers for something that none of us have ever seen before, I feel like it's a little bit rude to have that kind of behavior, you know what I mean? Like, in our digital circus showing, we had a group of teens. I can only assume they were teens. And like, any time the characters in the movie said anything even remotely funny, at least one of the teenagers would like echolalia them, basically, and like repeat what they were saying. There was, while episode 8 was playing, these teenagers were basically quoting the entire movie. Like, a character would say a line, and then almost immediately you would hear one of these teenagers say the exact same line. Like, they were reciting the entirety of episode 8. When Kane's song came on, they stood up and they started, like, singing, trying to get the whole theater to sing, and then nobody sang with them, so they just quietly sat back down. And there was way more, but that's what I remember the most, was that group of teenagers doing that shit in episode 8. During episode 9, they still did it, but it wasn't as bad because they hadn't seen the episode before, so there wasn't enough content for them to memorize. Maybe they were the Amazing Digital Circus characters IRL. I would have shot them. I was so fucking annoyed with them. Like, I remember doing that as a kid. I did that with a lot of movies, but one, I only ever did it at home. It was never in public. And two, I grew out of that shit when I was like 9. These guys were in high school. I don't know. I had a really bad theater experience, and I kind of wanted to bitch about it. It was really bad. I didn't like it. There was also a guy, like, literally right next to Hal and I that was snoring the entire movie, and the girl that was with him, like his daughter, just wouldn't wake him up. She would just let him snore throughout the entire movie. Hello, Cookie. I'm so glad the showing I went to was very chill, but I heard from friends that they had the same issue with kids. That's the other thing. There were a lot of people in that theater that should not have been there. And I'm not talking about, like, etiquette. I'm talking, like, how old they were. I get it. In Australia, the Amazing Digital Circus was rated M, which means that, like, realistically, a 13-year-old could walk in and watch that movie. But there were people, like, way younger in there. Like literal fucking babies. And I'm like, why are you here? What are you doing? What is, like, huh? Go home. Parents really need to vet the kind of animated content that their children are watching. I'm really sorry. This isn't even a digital circus problem. This is a parenting problem. It's the same. It's not nearly as bad. I would say that what I'm about to say is worse. But it's the similar vein of people letting their children watch, like, Has-Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss. Like, just because a project is animated does not mean it is safe for your child. Oh my god, big fort. Oh my god, Skinner, hello! Thank you so much for the 26 months. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. How you doing? I'm bitching about how bad my viewing of the Amazing Digital Circus was. It was awful. Alright, I think that's the highlights. It's not a parenting problem, it's a cultural problem of people failing to recognize the artistic medium is not implicitly for children. Yeah, I would say it does go deeper than just parents. But I think parents are the start of fixing that problem. Does that make sense? I heard the fish has made children cry. Well, good. Children are meant to be there. Like, you're Australian as well, so you would know. The Digital Circus was rated M here in Australia, which means realistically, like, a 13-year-old could walk in and watch it. But, like, we had people way younger than that coming into the theater. Aw, little baby. She's almost done, chat. Germany has a 12 and up rating. I think... is 12 too young for the Digital Circus? I don't think so. I think 12 is probably the youngest you would go. Oh my god, Cookie, thank you so much for the 3 months. It's been that long already? Goodness gracious me, what are you still doing here? Thank you very much, Cookie. I appreciate that. I think 12 is probably the absolute youngest. That would, I think, would be acceptable for the Amazing Digital Circus. Anything younger than 12, I feel like you really shouldn't be there. I could see it have a PG-13. That's PG-13 doesn't exist in Australia. That's why we have M. We have PG and then we go straight to M rating. Oh my god, you're right. We do have a hype train, Fox. Thank you guys. You guys are so... I was gonna say chill, but you're not chill because it's a hype train. Now's not the time to be chill, chat. Be excited. How is the second viewing? Oh my god, it's so much nicer in the comfort of your own home without screaming teenagers quoting every single line from episode 8 and trying to sing and laughing so loud that you can't hear the movie. Also, I don't know if anyone else had this problem, but the audio balancing for the movie, at least like when I went to watch it in theaters, was really bad. The audio balancing was just not built for the type of speakers my movie theater had, and it was so much nicer watching it on my TV. Oh my god, Hal with the tier 1 gift sub. Thank you. What are you doing? Stop doing that. It's very sweet. I appreciate you. W Hal. Hello, Hal. This is what happens when you come out of lurking. Everyone wants to talk to you. But yeah, what was I saying? I totally forgot. Can't ignore a hype train. Stop. General consensus? It was good, but I don't think it... I think the Jax stuff should have been a separate episode. I don't think Jax should have been lumped into the finale. I think, if anything, the finale should have been a 3-parter, 8, 9, and 10. Not to be mean, but if you got suddenly popular and you got a huge fan base, what would you do? I don't understand. Well, I mean, I don't think that's a mean question, first of all. You don't need to worry about that. I know I'm just an itty-bitty little guy. But I don't really know what I would do. My biggest thing is that I want to, like, you know, share experiences with people, have a good time with people. That's why I still play games on top of doing the artwork. I really like just sitting down and vibing with people. I would probably have to put my foot down on a couple of things, because I know that there are some people who, like, specifically watch me because I'm so small. But, like, that wouldn't be possible anymore. I don't really know what would change. I'm already planning for some changes to come in. Maybe they would stick if I blew up. I would probably do more charity events. If I blew up in a way where, like, it would support my medical needs and, like, my bills and stuff, then I would probably try and do more charity events and more giveaways. I don't like just taking from people. I've just not ever been put in a position where I can give back to you guys. That would be really nice to do. So said it out loud. It's loud and heavy and hard to maintain. Looks awesome though. Wait, what? Hang on. I think I missed something. Oh, what is it you want to say about the knight armor? Yeah. Felt a bit squished. I also understand at that point Goose wanting to finish it the best she could without going crazy. Yeah. Especially that you can't save them all. I like the idea that you cannot save everyone. I think that's something that people really need to learn. But I said this earlier in the stream, I feel like they had to change a part of Pomni's character for that to work. Because Pomni was Jax's biggest advocate throughout the whole show. And up to that point, everyone in the circus had said multiple times that they're not just gonna abandon Jax, they're not gonna let him wander off and like hurt himself, like they were gonna stick together, they were a family at that point. And then they did the thing that they said they weren't gonna do. I feel like they had to like retcon a part of that conversation for that to happen. You're definitely either my first or second favorite streamer. Oh! Coming from someone who's literally only seen this stream and the one before. That is... You're so sweet. You don't need to say that to me. Why are you lying to me? Why are you lying? She did also say she put herself on a deadline. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, I think this is almost done. I'm just rounding out some corners that I feel like should be rounder than they are, and they're just not. And then I think she's finished. Overestimating how loud armor is depends. Sometimes you drop the ball. I think that. I think armor can be really quiet, but you have to always be on your, like, best game. Because if you slip up once, then it can be pretty loud. They did try to help him, but at some point it's quite realistic to just stop and hope that they'll reach out. I fully understand that. I fully understand that part of it. It's just the way that the scene played out felt a little unnatural to Pomni's character. Like, if they had maybe a scene where, like... How do I say this? Ragatha and Kinga had a really good scene earlier in the series where Kinga was basically saying that maybe Ragatha should take a step back from, like, Pomni and stuff, and it's like taking a step back from someone should never be the same as giving up on them. I think it would have been really cool if maybe Ragatha relayed that advice that Kinga gave her onto Pomni, and was just like, hey, maybe we should give him some space. And Pomni's like, no, I don't want to give up on him. And she relays that. Like, giving someone space is not the same as giving up on someone. And then that makes Pomni not reach out to Jax. And then that happens. Like, if there was just a tiny bit more to explain why she just suddenly stopped trying to help him, I would have appreciated that, because I fully understand sometimes you need to give someone space because you realize that they're not going to accept your help. It's just the delivery felt a bit strange and out of character, in my opinion. Bad things happen when you drop the ball. That's what happened to Jax. It's so true. It's so true. Is it circling back to the zombie apocalypse? Yeah. The armor thing is back to the zombie apocalypse discussion that they were having, yes. Honestly, good conversation to have. I like the zombie apocalypse talk. It's quite fun. Alright, now we draw a big circle. Big. Oh, too big. Maybe like there. Perfect. And then we can just kind of move it wherever we want. I like it right here. She looks like she's gonna ask you if you have games on your phone. You know what I mean? Alright, I'm gonna save this. If you're out in the open, I can see it not being an issue. It also depends on what type of armor. They're talking chainmail with plating on top, I think is what they were saying. Maintaining it would also be a hassle. Yeah. Always ease of use, and yeah, easy to use, easy to maintain is kind of what I would go for. And like I said before, something that could also be used for multiple purposes, because there's only so much you'll be able to carry. This is so cute, thank you. It's a redraw of a much older one with a different character. Where is she? I had it open before. Here. This is the much older one. And I literally just was like, oh, I like this, but I want it with this one. And it looks much nicer in my opinion. Alright, I'm gonna export this. How do I do that again? Like this. How do I do that again? I use this program every day. What do you mean, how do I do that again? Alright, there we go. This one's also done. This one's also done. That's done. What do we do now? Oh, it's almost time to migrate over anyway. What do we do for like 15 minutes? Let's see. I have an idea. Isn't chain good against blunt force, but not so good against stabby stuff? Yeah, that's why I've got the plate. That's why they wanted to wear the plates on top. Leather is also really good. I think leather is good. Why is the hair under the eyelashes? Hang on, wait. I gotta open it again. Just gonna fuck you. Nah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think I draw her like that because it makes the eyes pop a little more. I don't like it when the eyes are covered by the hair. Yeah, I also did it here. Like this. Have I done it anywhere else? Is this just how I do things and I never noticed? Oh yeah, this is just how I do things and it was never pointed out to me before. Especially when the eyes are this big, yeah, it does stand out a bit. I feel like it would kind of hide the eyes a lot more if I did it the other way though. No, I'm not gonna redo it, I'm happy. Instead I'm happy. Chain is good against cut and slashes, but bad against piercing. I feel like, yeah, because there's so many little holes. I'm really bad at figuring out how big or small something should be. Adding to my comment, imagine Jax being the last heal from abstraction. I don't know how I feel about abstraction being something that can be reversed. Because I always saw it as an allegory for suicide, and like, it's probably not. Like, the way Gooseworks explains it, like, it might be, but I feel like it's supposed to be deeper than that. I just really like the idea that it's irreversible because it puts more weight on the I don't want to go scene. It's like, well, it's too late for that. You've kind of made your bed now. Now, re-importing brain scans, however, pretty fucked up in a way that I like. I did read into it. It's not stated, but you couldn't return, but you're pretty far gone. Kane could always start again eventually. Yeah. Just re-upload the original files. Gooseworks said on her Bluesky that it is an allegory for suicide. Okay. That does make more thematic sense. That is what I was thinking. There we go, that fixes that problem. Someone did if someone put the headsets back on and trans Jax appeared. Just like, I think Jax would not reverse abstraction if it's possible. Hang on, I gotta scroll back up. Too damaged and insecure in himself. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Even if he could reverse it, I don't think he thinks he deserves it. It's also really weird still referring to Jax as he, him. I do it because even after everything that happened in the movie, everyone still refers to him as he, him in the movie. But recently, Gooseworks referred to Jax as a she on her Bluesky, and I was like, oh, fuck. Uh-oh. Goose said any? Okay, cool. That works then. I would draw Jax with hair, but I actually really don't like the femme versions. Well, not really don't like, but I prefer the versions of femme Jax that are still bald. I don't know why. The hair is cute, but I just prefer that femme Jax also have no hair. My fave femme Jax is the one that's basically yoke Jax. I'm sorry, what? He looks more recognizable bald. I agree, but I also think it's the whole, it just looks like they're wearing a wig. You know what I mean? Alright, here's the big question though, chat. Here's the real question. If Jax could, would they give themselves massive tits? Or do you think they'd want a more respectable, like, smaller cup? How big do we think Jax would want their tits? Hang on, I've been sent something. Oh, this one! Yeah, no, I do remember that one. Yeah. I think that design fits into the Digital Circus universe. Yeah, I do like that. This is Jax we're talking about? Jacobs. You're so right. You're so right. Give me 1 second. Let me correct my lore inaccurate error. There you go. Law accurate femjacks. I like this very much. Right here. Gravity defying. I feel like he would want his tits to have a little bit of like gravity to them because then they look more real. You reckon he'd give himself like birthing hips as well? You think he'd also give himself like childbearing hips? Or you reckon just the titties? Yes? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hourglass figure, you're so right. Hang on. What's like a typical sexy girl pose? I'm looking through my old art. I'm sure I've got a sexy girl pose in here somewhere that we can recycle. Alright, I found one. There's really, really old artwork, so I'm not gonna trace over it. I'm just gonna reference the general pose. Anyone else have an extreme love for Kaufmo? I like that he's probably the most normal person in the circus. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I meant to... No, not that. Oh my god. I'm fucking this up. No! Oh my god. This one. Giving him them cartoon proportions. Jesus Christ. Jessica Rabbit style! I should just trace over a picture of Jessica Rabbit. Put his foot like here. I don't remember what his feet look like. There you go. I love the emotes. Thank you. I put a lot of effort into them. He's got really long hands, but that's fine. Tiny, tiny waist. And then it just boom out like that. And oh, we cannot forget. Massive, absolutely canonically huge knockers. I will have a sippy, just give me 1 second. I'm trying to draw the boobs in a way where you can still see how tiny his waist is. But I don't want to make them too small because we don't want to disrespect Jax. Maybe like that. And then I can just make his torso longer. But if I make his torso longer, then his hand is gonna look even more awkward than it already is. Alright, hang on 1 second. I got this. He does have a pretty long torso, so this is fine. Excellent. I know her back hurts. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Of course it does. She's thick. Alright, add a sip of my tea. We're good. So thick. Hang on, wait. The waist needs to be smaller. He's just a brain scan, so he doesn't need room for organs. It's fine. Ow. The amount of disrespect that had. There we go. She's just a digital file. She doesn't need organs. It's okay. How are we feeling? Isn't she lovely? How are we feeling about this, chat? Absolutely mommy thick. What am I gonna do with their hands? Where am I putting their hands in this? Isn't she wonderful? Why did nobody tell me this shit would hurt this much? Alright, I feel like I want to put one of his hands on his chest like this. I feel like that's what we want to do with one of the hands. And then the other hand... Oh god, I have no idea. Isn't she precious? I love that you guys love Jax. I think... Ooh, I think I have an idea. We kind of want to put it here. And then, like, her hand is going in between her legs, kind of. Like this. Perfect. Shut up, PC. There's nothing wrong with what I'm drawing right now. Excellent. Alright, it does mean you won't see this. Unfortunate. Or this. Unfortunate. But I think that still works. Chat, does this still read as Jax? It sobs on the floor. Oh my god. I'm happy with this. Alright. I'm not posting this on Bluesky, by the way. This is gonna ruin... Everyone's gonna think less of me if I post this on Bluesky. Actually, let's use the smaller brush. Let's do the whole thing again with the smaller brush. Like this. Turn down the legs and noodle the arms, and I think you're closer. But look at the... But the legs are so big. But the legs are huge. I thought you guys wanted huge legs. Alright, there we go. 6 times save lives, keep them. I reckon if Jax knew that he could manifest in the digital circus, his life would have been saved, you know? Manifest yourself some titties. I don't know where I'm gonna put his pupils yet, so we'll just leave it. I don't want to spend too much effort on this, but also I'm having fun. What outfit are we putting him in, chat? I haven't even drawn his clothes. What is he wearing? I gotta put the bow on his ear, of course, but like, what else is he wearing? He'd be manifesting anvils. I love the idea that if Jax had the chance to transition, he would still be an asshole. I love, like, what? You thought transitioning would make me less of a mean person? For shame. Long nails? Ooh, I dig it, I dig it. Maybe we put her in like a... I don't know what kind of clothes Jax would like to wear. Also, Jax only has 3 fingers, right, chat? I'm pretty sure he only has 3 fingers. Like this. Summer dress, because he's such a catty bitch. You're so right. Actually, no, I don't want to give him sharp nails. I want to give him, like... like an almond type shape. Not super long, but like, you know, that still counts as a long nail, right? 3 and a thumb. Yeah, you won't see the thumb in this piece. I think that's still long. I really hope none of my friends raid me and see what I'm looking at, what I'm working on. Alarm woke me up and I decided to check back in. What the fuck did I come back to? We're drawing Jax. I don't see what the confusion is. We're drawing our homeboy Jax. Alright, hang on. Let me find a nice summer dress to draw our homeboy in. Ooh, maybe like a deep V. Or maybe something like this that's got like frills. I kind of like the deep V look. Alright, I have my picture. You know what? Carry on. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that we have your permission, Jake. So we've got... I'm gonna draw it like this. This is on a separate layer, don't worry, guys. I'm gonna draw it like this. Right, and then maybe we might draw some like jewelry, like some bracelets and stuff, but for now I'm gonna leave it as it is. Rock a businesswoman outfit. Oh, she so would. And she'd be such a bitch about it too. Like, no cap, she'd be such a bitch about it. Hello, Pipey, welcome in. How you doing? Very normal stream where very normal things happen, okay? Like, you won't really see this bit, but like, this is where the shoulder sleeve comes in. And it's got like some slight frills, like right here. It's like a little frilly off the shoulder type situation. I've been lurking. Okay, good. Welcome in. Thanks for having a good time with us. There. And then this will kind of like frill like that. There might be a little bit of hemming here. And then there'll be like a little ribbon. I'm having the time of my life. I don't know how you guys feel. Oh, that's so perfect. Thank you. Actually, I feel like that would be a bit thinner. Maybe like this. And they'd meet at the bottom. Totally. I'm gonna... Actually, that can stay. We're gonna turn down the opacity for this. And then I can... clean up. It looks a little messy. I might not add those ribbons. Maybe we'll have them flare out so they're not hanging on as much. Actually, no, I think it's fine. You know, Jax would do nothing but serve. Oh yeah, so her entire purpose in life would be to just serve absolute cunt. Absolute. I want to put bracelets on her and maybe like a ring, but I don't know what I'm gonna put, so we're gonna leave it for now. Why does having to get up, get clothes, and get something to eat have to be so hard? Because we're drawing Jax. Femme Jax. You don't want to leave Femme Jax alone. Mean girl, but is sometimes nice to you, cunty bitch. Oh yeah. Her archetype is so mean girl, cunty bitch. Alright, and then for the waist, the model that I'm looking at has like some ruching. I think that's what it's called. It's like that weird... If you're a woman who's worn like a cinched in dress, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it like cinches in like this. It's like almost elastic, so it hugs your waist super tightly. Yeah, the ruffle thing. Draw her thigh in. Actually, wait, before we draw her thigh in, the skirt, I mean the dress part of the dress kind of comes in like this. Really short. And then there's like a second layer that kind of comes in. Actually, it'd be more like this. Maybe it wouldn't be that long. Maybe it'd be like here. Yeah, and then there's like ruffling up here. Do you like our Femme Jax? Chat helped me decide. They're helping me design him. Her.
I've heard of Hourglass, but like, I feel like this middle section would shatter.
Well, he's a digital file. He doesn't need organs.
That's true.
It's true. And chat basically unanimously said, like, there's no way in hell he would give himself anything less than a double J cup.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super.
This is super.
Like, where's Gangle holding it together?
Excuse me?
Excuse me. Femme Jax would steal your man in front of you and then look you in the eye while doing it? Oh yeah, of course she would. What do you think's behind the locked door in Jax's mind? I think that's his trans identity. And the reason why it was super locked up is because it's a part of himself that he doesn't want to acknowledge. I've seen a lot of people say that the locked door is what would happen if Pomni died and he locked it up because he couldn't bear the thought of losing her, but I'm gonna be so honest, I think that's bullshit. I know he cares about Pomni, he definitely does, but I don't think he cares that much that he would lock away what would happen if she died. Anyway, was I doing? Right, there's this tiny little bit of like fluffles right here. This outfit also feels like something Ragatha would wear, which makes me really happy that I drew his cheeky like fuck off pose, because he'd be like, I'm wearing it better than you. Alright, for the legs, what kind of shoes would he wear? Would he wear shoes? It could be, but he hasn't known her for as long as he's known the others. Yeah, which is why I don't think it would be locked up like that. I think it's just his vulnerable side that he doesn't want to show. Yeah, I agree. What kind of shoes would go with a dress like this? I'm thinking like open toe, but I don't think Jack's even... Oh, I don't want to look up Jax's feet. I don't want that because I'm gonna get a lot of fetish content. I'm pretty sure he just has like the standard cartoony paws for his feet. So you get that, and then you'll have this one, and then I want to have like this, and then this part is like what connects to the... No, not like that. I don't know how... I've drawn sandals before, but they're very difficult for me. Like that. That's his other paw. Oh, hang on. That's his other paw. So like the separator... Actually, the separator could probably go like here. And then it would kind of sit like this. Like that. It looks a bit silly, but also this whole piece looks a little bit silly. Alright, perfect. One last detail. Well, two last details. The little bow in his hair and... Oh, on his ear. And, the direction that his eyes are gonna be looking. Want that right there. Good, 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 good. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna open the video that you put in the chat, Skinner. Give me 1 second. What did you do? Oh no, it's a Modern Family clip. Alright, hang on. We'll turn this up. And we'll put it on for everybody. You have to share with the class now, Skinner. I hope it's good. Alright, this is Trans Jax, apparently.
Hello, Deborah.
Oh. Hi, Cam.
You wish. I know you'll deny it, but these eyes can see right through you.
You mean how I stole the Educator of the Year award?
Ha! I got you to admit it. It's a good thing I'm wearing a wire.
Let me see it.
Damn it.
I'm gonna be the belle of the ball in this dress. Stealing this award has given me the confidence to crush everyone.
I'm imagining this girl is Ragatha. And there's Trans Jax. Yep, got it. Got it.
I never even saw Gloria go into the dressing room, but there she was, like a superhero, able to destroy confidence in a single pose.
I'm glad I didn't go with the first dress. They'll take one look at this one and make me principal. Aw,
You know what? Maybe you should try the dress on that lady's wearing. Oh my God, that was brilliant and humbling. You know, I pride myself on solving people problems. You know what? You still have the swooper. Maybe I could.
No, thanks.
Yeah, no, I agree. Gloria, Trans Jax would give such Gloria energy. I agree. She'd be like, haha, I'm hot now, bitches. What are you gonna do about it? They'd have a go at her for being a bitch. It was like, ooh, you wanna kiss me? I don't know what to do with their eyes. I think maybe, yeah, just looking up in the corner. They don't really need to engage with anything in the piece. I feel like I've already put too much effort into Trans Jax today. There we go. Ooh, you want to do lesbian things. Let's grab... the thing is... Oh, here. There's official concept art of Jax. There you go. That's 2D artwork. Give me 1 second. Oh shit, my PC's not... Oh dear. Can I not? I can't. I'm trying to download a picture. Can I open the picture? I need this picture. I need this 2D artwork of Jax. God damn it. Maybe his, bedroom door. Nope, it won't let me do this either. There's so much text on this page. Where are the pictures that I'm looking for? Oh my god, the pictures aren't even on this page. Why do the pictures link to this page? You know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna screenshot you. I just need it to color pick. You don't need to be so difficult, Google. Give me this. Thank you. Ah yeah, that was way more difficult than it had any right being. Alright, where did my picture of Jax go? Got it. Oh, I never put jewelry on her. It's fine. I still don't really know what kind of jewelry I'd put on her anyway. I feel like the nails would also be yellow. Alright, let's play around with this. Ooh, actually, I'm thinking. We'll grab his, like, overall color. I'll make it a little darker. These types of summer dresses also typically have a pattern. Like, they can just be one plain color, but more often than not, they have, like, a pattern on them. So I'm thinking maybe, like, polka dots, possibly? Speaking of You Wanna Kiss Me, that alternate world where Jax flirted with Gangle was terrifying. I've seen interpretations of what that's supposed to mean. Because I don't think that he actually wanted to hit on Gangle. And the interpretation I saw that I think I agree with is the idea that, like, when any given person in the circus dies, he's worried that that part of himself will disappear. Like, Ragatha's whole thing is being able to empathize and care for other people, which is why in the section where she's gone, Jax just starts strangling Pomni. In the world where Zubul dies, he's worried that he will not be able to take anything seriously or hold anything with any sincerity. And that's why in that world he's wearing the maid dress and he's flirting with Gangle while they're preparing for the funeral, because he's like, that's him not taking the event seriously and kind of playing with people's feelings type shit. I think I can side with that. Oh my god, I'm just fucking this up. There we go. And then I think maybe for like the polka dots, we'll do like an almost white type of pink. I'm not gonna fold the circles or make them like, you know, really mesh well with the fabric. I'm just gonna, oh wait, that's too, not what I'm looking for. What about here? I like these ones. That's a good theory. Yeah, I like it better than actually believing Jax wanted to be intimate with Gangle, because I really don't think that's the case. Alright, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this all the way over here. 4. Okay. 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8. And we're just gonna make a really long line of polka dots. Goodbye, Fox. I hope you have a good time wherever it is you're going. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for drawing Jax in his true peak physical form. Alright, I'm gonna start them up here. It probably doesn't need to be this long. I'm just making it as long as possible. I don't think the polka dots will be on the dark part of the dress. Maybe we'll have a different color polka dot. That could be fun. Let me add a couple more polka dots. There, not a lot more, just like that. Clip that onto him. I feel like I've put too much effort into trans Jax. This was just supposed to be to fill in some time before it was time to move over to Tomodachi life, but I feel like I got a bit carried away. We're not gonna have it in this dark bit up here. As Jax would say, peak femininity. Oh yeah, what's more feminine than a pink summer dress with polka dots? That's also why I'm not drawing him with his tail. That and like you wouldn't see the tail in this shot anyway. But yeah, Jax doesn't have his tail. Alright, I'm gonna take it off this ribbon. Just kind of like we took it off the hem. Oh, wait, hang on, I went too far. Never mind, I can stay a bit longer. Well, as soon as I'm done with the flat colors for Jax, we're probably gonna move to Tomodachi life. Alright, what I'm thinking is for these bottom polka dots, instead of being a lighter color, it's gonna be a darker color. Like this. Actually, no. I like that there's still a lighter color. Let's go maybe like here. A little lighter. There we go. Just like that. And then this color here is what we'll use to fill in the ruffles. I kind of want to bring this pink into it somewhere. What if we do like... No, wait, hang on. I gotta put this layer on the top. You know those, like, what are they called? French tips? Like this? There you go. French tips. Yeah, there we go. There's your feminine jacks, everybody. There's your trans femme jacks. The smallest waist known to man, accompanied by bosoms so big that it would probably snap him in half if he was a real person. I hope you guys like him. This was definitely a use of my time. I'm gonna save it. I don't want to get rid of this. This is trans femme jacks. Alright. It's time to move on, I feel. Alright, so what we're gonna do... I'm gonna throw you guys onto the Be Right Back screen, as usual. I'm gonna move over to my couch. I'm gonna pee. I don't think I need to grab a snack, but this is your time to also get up, have a stretch, have a snack, go grab a drink. And yeah, when we reconvene, we will be doing some Tomodachi life, living the dream. I'll try not to be more than 10 minutes. I don't think I ever am gone more than 10 minutes, but we'll see how we go. And I'll see you in a little bit.